Good morning, social media. Hello. Yes, it is just me. I'm doing a pop up live to celebrate. I said I'm going to do two this month. One to celebrate women empowering. And if you know me, I'm going to share some tips, some principles that will allow you to process so you can progress, as well as celebrating my sisters in Christ, pastor wives. So listen, let's rock out with this pop up live and let's talk about it Tuesday. Pastor wives, I want to share a couple of things, some tips that I've learned throughout the years being a pastor's wife. And shout out to New Destiny for celebrating me this month. I appreciate you guys so much. But as we go on this journey, I want to just kind of rock out with you this morning as I have some time to talk about. Here we go, Pastor wives. Here we go. Let's go. Hello. So I'm trying to tag my pages. So give me 1 second. But listen, it is Pastor's Wife Appreciation Month. I know some people don't know about this, but I'm gonna talk about it because I celebrate. It's something about being a pastor's wife and being in position and the stuff that we endure and that we go through, but the power in it is that we continue to keep going, keep pushing, and not quitting and standing by our husbands, our mans in ministry as they continue to grow, as they continue to identify who they are as pastors, right? They're able to do that. And so we stand by them in ministry, man. Some of us rock our heart, some of us don't. But then there's some of us that do. We rock our heart for our pastor husbands. And so I want to definitely kind of share some tips. I've been a pastor's wife in ministry with my husband, really and truly, for over 20 plus years. But as a senior pastor of a church, I have been with him for the last 15 years in ministry. And so I may not know a lot, but baby, I done learned some wisdom over the years. And I have an amazing shout out to my spiritual mother, Lady Gail Woodard, that I stand on her shoulders. I stand on her shoulders. I stand on her shoulders. And so a couple of things I want to share. Y'all, I'm trying to hurry up and do this because I know people are used to me and Bishop. And I normally don't go live unless I'm in my community. But I wanted to go live and do this pop-up to celebrate my women that, again, stands by their husband, stand by their man in ministry and do the things that they're designed to do. So if you're joining me, I'm going to need you to just heart it up and say, good morning, Tonya. As we talk about these principles that I want to share, if you know me, I will say this, if you know me, I share principles that allow you to process so that you can progress in life, love, marriage, ministry, and money. But I also share principles. Lord, did I just share this on this page? I hope not. I share principles that will allow you to be able to kind of look at life in a different way. And so with that, this is what I do. I share those principles with you. And so here we go. Give me a second, y'all. I'm trying. But I learned the power of being with my husband. I've been with my husband, for those of you that don't know, for 30 years, but I also um uh we've been married 25 years. And when he told me he was about to be a pastor, when Bishop Woodard told him that, I could have took off running out of the office because I was scared out of my mind. I was like, no, I do not want to be a pastor's wife. I didn't know what it all entailed. I didn't know what all came with it, but I did know that I wasn't that kind of chick that would, if I had to be sitting there and not do nothing and allow people to say whatever to me. I don't know. I don't know what I thought pastor wives went through, but I knew that I didn't want to be. I was like, I don't want to be this. This is not my cup of tea. But I found out I love what I do. I love being a pastor's wife. I love standing by my husband and ministry. I love loving on God's people. I have not always been that way. I have made many of mistakes as a pastor's wife. If you are on and you're a pastor wife, I'm gonna need you to heart it up or whatever to that nature. And if you're on, I'm gonna need you to good morning. I see y'all. Yes, y'all are coming. And if you're on here and you're not a pastor's wife and you just say, girl, I just want to hear what you got to say, stick with me. And if you have a pastor's wife, I want you to celebrate them, shout out their name, type their name in the screen, but celebrate them and who they are. If you're watching a replay, if you join me later, all of that great stuff. But if you're on now, I want you to say good morning. I want to know you're here. I want to know that you're here. And I thank you so much for being a part of this live. So I'm finna deep dive in. Just give me 1 second. I got one more thing and then I'm done. See, I really need an administrator to do this because, baby, I don't be having time. You understand me? I don't be having time. I love it. Thank you for shouting out your pastor's wife, Lady Dart. Yes, I know her. Awesome sauce. Thank you again. If you're on here and you have a pastor's wife, shout out her name. I'm going to put her on the screen, their name on the screen for them to be a part of it. Just to shout out them. Appreciate your pastor's wife. A lot of stuff that she endures, that she goes through, and all of that. I was just rambling so that I can get to this part right here. So I want to share a couple of things with you guys as you're on here. I want to share with pastor wives and share with them and share with you the different things that pastor wives endure. If you do not have a pastor's wife, no worries, no shout. I want you to shout out your pastor. You know, if your pastor is a woman, shout it out, because no matter what, if women are women and we deal with that, period. All right. What's up, Sister Lee? She said, Pastor Tonya, I'm a pastor's wife. We celebrate you. Can you heart it up for the pastor's wife, for the senior pastor wife of your church, as we discuss this topic that I'm going to talk about today? Y'all, I'm so unorganized. I just said, let me just pop up. I want to share this. This is on my heart. And then I'll come next week or before the month is over, and I'll share if I have time. I want to share about women. I want to definitely share about that. And so I'm celebrating pastor wives and 5 lessons that I learned. Not 5, I'm going to share 8. I think it's 8. I want to share 8. So let's rock out. 8 things that you learn. And one of the things, again, if you're not a pastor, but kind of know the lessons that pastor wives go through, give them a chance. Can somebody type in the screen? Give them a chance again. Give your pastor wife. She might be a little hurt, like maybe a little bitter. She might be going through something. Just give her a chance again, sugar. Give her a chance again. Thank you for your minutes. Please continue to bless. Oh, thank you, Miss Harper. May God bless you and cover you greatly. Thank you so much. I don't know if you're a pastor wife. If you are, I would love you put your number 1 on the screen. But I want to talk to my pastor wives. And if you are a pastor wife, put the number 1 on the screen. I would love to know. If you love your pastor wife, I want you to put a heart in the screen. Heart, heart, heart. If you love your pastor wife, you don't just tolerate her, but you love her. Or if you love your pastor, that's a woman, heart it up. I see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I want to talk about this topic when it comes. And again, if you're a woman, stick with me. I'm going to pop up again this month to empower women and give you some tips and lessons and different things that I've learned throughout the years. So I want to share this. Type in the screen, lessons of the pastor's wife. I can almost write a book about that. Lessons of the pastor's wife. Give them a chance again. Please give us a chance again. Sugar, we be messing up out here in these streets as pastor wives, but we also have a good heart. Some of us, I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for some of us as pastor wives as we celebrate this month. Good morning, Amy. How are you? Good morning. Awesome, Alex. Well, hello, my sister in Christ. I love it when I see another pastor's wife. All right. So let's talk about it. Lessons of the pastor's wife. Again, for you guys that don't know, I rambled earlier so I can get to this point. But I really want to talk about a couple of things that I've learned throughout the years of being a pastor's wife. But really, I believe that what happens is, as pastor wives, is that we go through journeys of learning just like everybody else. We go through trials. We go through tribulations. We go through moments where we make mistakes. I can't tell you. Great book. You Are the Fragrance is a book that I have. I'm gonna just show you this one. This ain't it. No, that's the wrong one. But I have another book called You Are the Fragrance. Sister Lee, you'll put my website. Yes, shameless plug. TonyaHarden.com. Go and get the book from there. Listen, if you're jumping on, welcome, welcome, welcome. Give me a good morning. Hey, I want to know that you're there. Don't just hide and not say you ain't here, sugar. Just be listening. But go on and put your name. Put good morning or the lessons of a pastor's wife is what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to share 8 things that I've learned as the pastor's wife, right? So one of the things that we learn as pastor wives as we go on the journey, again, I have been in this for a while. I did not want to do it, but I learned that, wait a minute, this is a calling. This is a mandate. This is something that God has called my husband to. And then as I went on the journey with him, I now, 15 years later, I pastor alongside with him. He is my pastor. He is the Bishop Clyde Harden Jr. Can y'all heart it up for my baby daddy boyfriend and all that bag chips? I felt like I was just in church that moment, but that's okay. But he is my pastor. He is not just my husband, but he's also my pastor. And one of the things that I found out, and first, let me pause and park and say this. For every pastor's wife, because I saw I had one pastor's wife that said the number one. Every pastor's wife on here, go join my pastor's wife connection. No, I have not been going live. I'm gonna do better. I apologize, pastor's wife connection group. I'm gonna do better after I get through with this BAM program with these ladies. I'll be done in 2 weeks, okay? And then I'm gonna go start going live every third, whatever. We're gonna work it out, but I have to get my life together, okay? All right, here we go. One of the things that I learned, and I want you to type it in the screen, is that when you are in this thing, and if people would really know for pastor wives, a lesson that you can learn or know that goes on with the pastor wife. Can I put you in the mind of a pastor's wife for a minute? If I can put you in the mind of a pastor's wife, I need you to put the number 2 in the screen. If I can allow you to go into our minds for a minute as the pastor's wife, I want you to put the number 2 on the screen. One of the things that we do, and I'll wait because I know it's a delay, but I want you to get in our minds for a minute. Want to get in our minds as a pastor's wife for a minute. Hey, Nikki. Y'all, shout out to Nikki. Go follow. She has a event coming up, a retreat. Shout out to Nikki Berry. She has a retreat, and I'm going to be a part of that. I would love for you guys to come and rock out with us. Go to her page. Just click on her name and go to, you'll find out everything over there. Okay. Thank you so much, Nikki, for joining us. But I want to put you guys in the mind of the pastor's wife just for a minute, if you don't mind. How many of you would love to know the heart or the mind of a pastor's wife? Can you put the number 2? Because y'all, we do. We go through a lot, but I promise you, we love what we do. We absolutely love what we do. She said, I'm so excited. Say, I know, and I'm so honored. I'm so honored. I can't wait. To know it, and I ain't seen the number 2. Y'all don't care about us, the pastor's wife. Let me stop. So let me share these principles, get out of here. All right. Number one of the things of a pastor wife is that we have to, I had to realize that as I see y'all, thank y'all so much. Somebody love us. Thank you, Jesus. We're not hard to love, I promise. Thank you. All right. One of the things, 8 things I'm going to share. Here's the first one is grace is a calling. We learn this, that God has to give us grace to be us, to be authentically us. And I think when I first started, Nikki, when I first became a pastor's wife, I was a member. Shout out to my spiritual mother again, Lady Gail Woodard. I was a member of the ministry for over 10 years. And while in that ministry, and I walked away, I thought, I had to be a certain way. I learned from my spiritual mother, and I knew that we were totally different, but I love her. Like, I stand on her shoulders. But one of the things I realized was that I had to find out who I was and realize that what God had graced me to be was enough. Can somebody type in enough? Ooh, it was enough. Grace is a calling. That's my first point. Number 1, grace is a calling. We are chosen by God. And this is for any individual, not just pastor's wife, but it's learning that when you are chosen for this role, God didn't, there's a scripture and I have a shirt with it that says, God didn't choose you. You didn't choose God. God chose you. And when some pastors, not all, okay, because some people be out here just be wanting pastor, and that ain't what it, baby, it ain't what you want. But you learn really, really quick that grace is a calling. It is a role. It is not necessarily a role. It's a responsibility that God has graced you to be able to do. It's not an accident. Come here, every pastor's wife, every person that hear me, your pastor's wife was not an accident. God put them together, and because he put them together, he made them one. And you must, as a pastor wife, embrace the call. I did not embrace the call in the beginning. I literally wanted to go back when Bishop Woodard told my husband, son, it's time for you to start a church in your hometown. I wanted to run, Forrest, run. Because I was like, no, who's going to be the pastor wife? Who's supposed to be the pastor wife of this church? I don't want to do this. And I really wanted to go back to my home church because I love my home church. So it was like, no, I don't want to do that. But I realized that when I found out how to embrace my calling And it took me, listen, my husband and I've been doing this for 15 years. But guess what happened, Sister Lee? It almost took me year 4 until I embraced where I was. Until I embraced the calling of where I was. Yes, it feels like we have to be, yeah. You do. You feel like you got to have it all together, but you don't. You don't have to have it all together. You learn as you go. I always say this, and I tell my BAM community this, is that shout out to the BAM, man. If you're a BAM member, I'm going to need you to put the butterfly on the screen. But one of the things that I found out in the midst of this, Shantala, I found out that I thought I had to be perfect, but I found out that God was creating in me a different aroma, a different look on life that was beyond measures, that he was about to stretch me and shape me to a whole nother level because he was gracing me to be able to accept the calling that he called me to do. Yeah, you got to be willing to embrace it. You got to grace yourself that this is a calling. This is a mantle. This is a mandate. And you are responsible. And we'll talk about more of that. But number two, it strengthens your prayer life. Listen, Lady Harper, it strengthened my prayer life. Can you put that on the screen? Number 2, strengthens your prayer life. As a pastor's wife, where God already knows the plans he has for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. And pastor's wife, this was a part of your plan, sugar. This is a part of your plan. And the great thing about this being a part of your plan, it allows you to be prostrated before the Lord like never before. And your prayer life is lifted to a whole nother level. Hear me and hear me well. Your prayer life is lifted to a whole nother level, a whole nother dynamic. And it allows you to see things in the spirit. It allows you to smell things in the spirit. When I became a pastor's wife, I was not as in tune with the Lord like I am today. I was not there, and I'm still learning God on a different level. I'm still learning God in a different magnitude, a different capacity. I'm still learning God because God don't stop growing you just because you became the pastor's wife. Chilly, bang, bang. Yeah. God don't stop growing you because that's when it really starts. For me, that's when it really started. And I just believe when God catapults you in any level, any area of your life, that's where it starts at. So it strengthens your prayer life as a pastor's wife. And you are the woman of prayer. I'm the number 1 armor bearer to Bishop Clyde Harden Jr. I'm the armor bearer. He may have some money, it doesn't matter. I am. I cover him in prayer. I intercede for my husband before he even hits a platform or a pulpit. I'm interceding for him. It allows you to just go to another level in life. Again, I'm giving you principles that will allow you to process so that we can progress and grow as pastors' wives. Why? And here's the thing, this stuff you probably already know to be able to grow, but there's a pastor wife out there that be saying, girl, look, I'm tired. I'm over this. This is working my nerve. This is too much work. Unfortunately, but fortunately, it is, and it will stretch your faith. It will stretch your growth like never before. All right. So it strengthens your prayer life. It allows you to become so connected and in tune with what is going on in the church. And then don't let your pastor husband be a leader outside the church. It also allows you to be in tune for those outside of the church. All right. Number 3, type this in the screen. Another principle that I learned as a pastor's wife that I really had to process is love the people. Love the people. Right. Baby, you got to love the people. Listen, people be peopling out here in church. They do. They be people. They don't mean no harm. They don't. You got to learn this. And I shared this with the BAM community, is that when you learn to love people, and I say this all the time, and I forever say it, and I wrote it in most of my books, is that you learn to love people in spite of what they do to you, knowing that there's a possibility that they can hurt you again. So keep forgiving. They're going to hurt you. Keep forgiving. It doesn't matter who it is, what they do, how they do it. You be confident in knowing that what God called you to do, he graced you for this. You've been confident in knowing in your prayer life that, God, I'm so connected and in tune with you that you are building my confidence to a whole nother level, that I'm learning to love the people. Because God, let me tell you this. I always say, look here, Sister Lee. I always say, God don't use paper. He use people. Type that. God don't use paper. He used people. And I also believe the enemy don't use paper. He use people. It's not the person. It's the enemy within the person that may be causing different spirits that comes about. The spirit of Jezebel, the spirit of Leviathan, the spirit of Haman, these different spirits that end up hitting. Maybe you don't know what spirit I'm talking about. Just read a couple of them chapters, especially about Haman. Read about him. Read about Jezebel. I promise you, you will start seeing the characteristics of these people within your pew. But you got to learn to love them, though. Yeah, Jesus. You still got to love them, even though they're walking. Because here's the thing. Here we go. Every pastor's wife that's listening, watching the replay. Here we go. Because you may have had some of those spirits yourself, sister friend. You may have been walking, in the Leviathan spirit. You may have been walking, you were choking, choking people. You trying to have control. Maybe you were that person that was walking in Haman where you want to destroy. Okay, whatever. We've been there before. Don't act like you ain't never been there. So don't forget where you came from. So keep loving. Yeah. Can somebody type that? Keep loving. You keep loving in spite of what they do to thee, knowing that there's a possibility that you're going to hurt me again, because I realize that the enemy, God don't use people. He use paper. I mean, he don't use paper. He use people. And when he uses people, sometimes people be peopling, and it is okay. Life be happening. But God, I'm going to allow whatever is going on, the naysayers, the backbiters, the gossipers, who don't like my personality, it doesn't matter. So God, you know what? I'm going to trust you in all of this. I'm going to trust you. And I'm going to love because you love me in spite of. I'm going to be willing to throw my love in the sea to the point to where my love goes so much deeper than what you can ever imagine. So ain't nothing you can really do to me to hurt me. So I'm going to keep loving. All right. Number 4. Is this helping? I hope it's helping. Number 3. So number 4, the next thing that I've learned as a pastor's wife, another principle that I learned as a pastor's wife was that every season was a season of growth of wisdom, to learn wisdom. So I'm going to just say this. Wisdom and learning wisdom in every season. Can you type that? Learning wisdom in every season. Seasons change. Seasons shift. But it's all about what you learn while you were in the season. It's all about what you learned while you were in the classroom. It's all about what you learn, and then what you learn and what you apply after you have learned it. Yeah. Did y'all hear me? This can go for anybody. This ain't just for no pastor wife, but baby, you can grab that yourself. Every season in your life is something different. Every season in your life will change. Every season in your life is not the same. And if it is, that is a problem, and it's called stagnation. If you're not growing, you're not going through, then you're not growing, and that's a problem. That means that the enemy is okay with where you're at, because he ain't done nothing to come against you to make sure that you don't. Come on, somebody. You want to be willing to learn in every lesson. If anything I've learned as a pastor's wife, listen, Nikki, anything I've learned as a pastor's wife, I have learned to learn the lessons in the classroom, and whatever I learn, apply it on the next level. Come on. I've learned to apply it on that next level. I've learned how to apply it on the next level. So one of the things that pastor wives learn every season is different. And Sugar, you get a chance to have amazing classroom lessons with different people and different personalities, especially if you're moving. And let me pause and park and come to every person that's listening to me under the sound of my voice, and you are doing ministry out here. Come here, Nikki. You're doing ministry out here on another level. Please know that the enemy comes in like a flood, and it is up to you to lift up a standard after what you've learned, to use it and apply it, because you're changing lives. That's the thing with pastor wives. The enemy ain't okay, especially if you're changing lives. Hear me and hear me well. As a pastor's wife, if you not changing life, go ahead, Sugar. This ain't for you. You might not even want to watch this. But that person that is changing lives because your feet, and they're watching and they're paying attention and they're watching your feet. If you are that person that's on the front line in prayer and you're prostrating before the Lord and you go into prayer about your enemies, oh my God, do you not know the enemy don't like that? He don't like that, Sugar. You out here, you praying for folk, and you're interceding, and you're doing ministry that is leaving an imprint, that is leaving impact. Come here, Nikki. Why I feel like I'm speaking to you, Sugar. You're leaving impact. Hey, that's my auntie right there. That's my auntie, spiritual auntie. What's up, Lady Rose? You're leaving impact. Okay, let me stop because I'm gonna get caught up in these. Listen, you're leaving impact. That's to everybody that's watching. You are leaving, Lady Harper. You're leaving Lee. You're leaving impact. If you're doing something and what you went through, you got to be willing to learn it in the classroom. Whether the moment is celebrating or if the moment of pain. Celebrate, learn that in the classroom. How do I celebrate this way? How do I pause for the cause so that I can be able to embrace what just happened, what I did. Right now, I'm about to complete my BAM program. I'm going to take a pause for the cause and celebrate the fact that I have over 18 women that are a part of this program, that are growing, that are soaring, that are doing things that they ain't never done before. I'm going to pause and I'm going to go get a massage and I'm going to embrace that moment and celebrate it. But I'll also get to a point to the pain that I've been experiencing through this class, because the enemy is not excited about the changes that have been made. The enemy is not excited. Come here about the women that are saying, I'm about to start something. I'm about to start a business. I'm about to start a nonprofit. Come here, Shannon. I'm about to start something different. And guess what the enemy has been doing? He has been attacking me within my body. He has been attacking me, trying to go after my children. But guess what? Wisdom has taught me how to pray, knowing the atmospheres, being aware of what I see, being aware that, come here, David, I've seen this before. And because I've seen this before, look, Lady Rogers, because I've seen this before. Come here, David. David said, I can fight against a lot. I told the women this last night that I can fight again. My husband and I preached this together. I can fight against that giant. Why? Because I know the very thing that I've already done before. I've been here before. Can somebody type that? I've been here before, sugar. Good morning, sugar. I've been here before. I've been here before. I've been here before. David could tell you, I've been here before. But guess what David could also tell you? But I didn't fall lions. Yeah. I didn't fall bears. Yeah. And I didn't kill them no matter what. And I learned that even in the midst of me killing them, come here, David, come here, every person under the sound of my voice. I didn't kill these things before. I didn't seen you before. You just got a different security code number. I didn't seen you before. I didn't seen you come against me before. You ain't the same person, but I know I've seen you before and I knew how I fought you before. So now I'm gonna fight you different. I'm gonna fight you the same way with the same weapons. And here's the thing. Come here, Ashton. Hey, sugar, come here, Ashton. I told them this last night. Come here. And I don't have to use nobody else's weapons because what I have is enough. Can somebody type that? I don't need nobody else's weapon because what I have is enough. The wisdom that I learned in that classroom was enough. The trials and the tribulations that I learned in that classroom was enough. I've learned that God, you have set a table before my enemies. And I also learned that there are some enemies that cannot sit at my table. Why I feel like I'm preaching? Because Bishop ain't on here. Let me stop. Jesus. No, because Bishop let me preach. He don't care. Listen to what I'm saying. I have to make sure that in this season, whatever wisdom I learn, I gotta use that. I gotta use yes, I am fully equipped. I have everything I need to be able to fight against this thing that's happening to me as a pastor's wife, as a woman, as a leader, whatever you're called to do, you have the very thing that you need. Learn the lesson. I told the women last night, learn the lesson and apply it. Apply it. Don't just learn just to be information overload junkie, but learn the lesson that I'm going to use what I got in this season. Every pastor's wife. I'm going to use every person. I know this is for pastor wife, but I'm talking to everybody on here because I'm not just connected to pastor wife. I'm connected to a whole bunch of people, but other people. But I want to tell you, to my pastor wife, Sugarfoot, learn everything you can. Because seasons change, especially with pastoring. What's up, Lady McGee? Especially with pastoring. All right, let me keep going. Number 5, you know the next thing it does, Lady McGee, I've been talking about this in the BAM. Here we go. What the principles that I've learned as a pastor wife is number 5, being resilient in trial situations. Can you type that? How to be resilient in trial situations. Every pastor's wife should understand this. How I can be resilient in trials and situations. I learned that. Because let me tell you something. There's a spiritual war that goes on because of the lives that are being impacted. I'm not talking about popularity. I'm not talking about influence. I'm talking about impact. There's a difference. I don't want to be influent. I don't want to be an influence. I want to be impactful. And so with that comes a lot of trials. Baby, come here, and I don't even mind sharing it in verses here between you and the Lord. But this is my story. Let me tell it. And go get my book, because I have a whole bunch of stories for every pastor's wife. You Are the Fragrance. Shameless plug. Go get the book, TonyaHarden.com. Go grab it. Greatest book I've ever written. You Are the Fragrance. Because I share in there. I never forget. Lady Rogers, I never forget, man. A chick coming to our church. She's cooking food, making sure my husband had breakfast. Now, he got 3 children and a wife. Can somebody let church say amen? 3 children and a wife. You understand me? I done went straight country. You saw that? Yeah. 3 children and a wife. But she was bringing breakfast to him. Mm-hmm. And the man of God, he wasn't able to see, he can come, he tell his side, and that's okay. But yeah, he was like, oh, this is so nice, because me and Pastor Wife hear me well. Men, they don't see, but when they do see, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I got a good one. My husband is good to me. You know what I'm saying? Read my book, Marriage is Survival Guide. That's a whole nother book. We tell you the trials there. I don't mind telling my story. I don't mind put it in a book somewhere so that you can read it. But I come to tell you, this chick was making ain't he listening? They go making breakfast for him, and while she's in the midst of making breakfast for him, she kept bringing him bacon, but she had him bacon, eggs. You understand me? That girl cooking a whole breakfast. I'm in my office. I'm starving. Sugar, you forgot? Even though I wasn't going to eat your food, which I wasn't going to do that. And I said which. I meant that. Yeah, because that was demonic. Okay? And if you don't understand every pastor's wife on here, I need you to put the number 3 in the screen if you understand pastor's wife, what I just said. Cooking breakfast and not making sure that his wife and his children have, and bringing the breakfast in there, sugar. And I said, wait a minute. So I finally had enough, and I think I called my spiritual mother, because I was about to flip that whole church over. You understand me? Because I'm a different kind of pastor's wife. So anyway, let the Lord be with you. But this is what I learned, though, in the midst of that. And when I finally told my husband, and I told him, like, this is disrespectful. This is another level. It ain't even about that. I don't even want the food. Believe me, I don't. But that right there is out of line. However you fix it, I'm gonna need you to fix it, sir. This has to do we this is bold disrespect. Okay? Don't play about it. I don't play about my husband, my children. So I said, hold him up, swallow him up. Wait a minute. So when I went and talked to him, he started noticing. He was like, oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. If you do for your pastor, you do for the whole family. But at that time, Ashton, I don't want you to do nothing for me, because you ain't finna put nothing in my food. Okay, so anyway, this happens. And this is the trials and tribulations. But I thank God I don't take it back. I'm glad it happened. Can somebody say it had to happen? Type it in the screen. If it did not happen, it would not allow me to build resilience. I needed to go through that. I needed to go through the trial. And she ain't it's a whole bunch, sugar. I done had women walk in and ask for a meeting with my husband, and then go turn around, and one woman tried to kiss him on the mouth. Gee, I done been through. It's all in my book. Okay? Been through. But I have a husband that loves me enough, that's respectful. That's like, the woman tried to have a meeting, same woman tried to, and she said, I want to have a meeting with you. And baby, my husband said, he grabbed me and was like, you coming here with me. And the chick said, no, that's okay. I don't want to meet. Okay. Yeah. Baby, I done dealt with it. And I'm pretty sure every pastor's wife have. But I realized that it had to happen. It grew me up. It gave me thick skin. It taught me how to be resilient. It taught me how to trust God in the process. It taught me how to hold on to God's unchanging hand. It taught me how to be able to stand beside my husband in ministry, and we fight together against the tricks and the schemes of witches and warlocks. It taught me how to fight, not with my hands like I used to, not that, but with my prayer. Hear me and hear me well. It taught me how to be resilient in prayer. It taught me how to minister through pain. It taught me how to turn my pain into purpose, my purpose into passion, and my passion into profit. Now I make money off the enemy. Don't play. You know why? Because you're going to pay me for my pain. No, I'm just playing. Don't scratch that. That's not what I meant. But it turned my pain into purpose. It taught me that I've been able to help other pastor wives because of what I went through. Because I was able to write a book of enduring because of what I went through. It had to happen. God said, no, you built for this. Woo! Can you type that? Every woman that's going through trials, adversities, people coming against you, look at yourself in the mirror. I'm built for this, baby. As a pastor's wife, I thought I wasn't, but I'm built for this. And I'm built to stand beside him in ministry, not nobody else. I'm built for this. I'm made for this. Yeah, baby, I can smell them come. Don't play with them. Baby, I can smell you come. Don't play with me. And I ain't gonna say a word because I fight different. I'm built for this. So I asked God, okay, God, whatever you send my way, make sure that I'm resilient. Because trials and adversity, because the Bible said, I only chastise those that I love. Thank you, God, for the chastising. Thank you that I never got out of character. One time, I take that back. One time I did, pray for me. And it don't matter. Read my book. Yeah. But pray for me. But after that, because of what I see, my spiritual mother. Yeah, Lady Rose, my Lady Rose sister is my spiritual mother. Lady Gail, I love her. What I've seen in her, oh God, it taught me so much. I stand on her shoulders. And I learned how to keep my mouth closed in resilience. So yeah, pastor's wife, you understand how to allow your challenges to become your your challenges no longer becomes your setback, but it becomes your stepping stones to success. What'd she say? Yeah, my challenges as a pastor's wife is not a setback. It is a stepping stone to my success. And what you see is because of resilience. If you're connected to me and you're assigned to me, what you see is resilience. And it's challenges that have built me, that made you. And that's to every person on this call. David could tell you, before I went and fought Goliath, all them challenges fighting against them bears and them, baby, I needed that. And I know what to do in the fight. What I love about David too? Bishop made this plain. It made me, I got to give him his credit. He knew exactly where to hit him too. He knew exactly where to hit the Philistine. He knew exactly how to point it, everything. He knew how to do it. Don't you know that you have this? I know exactly how to go, especially when I know what spirit you're moving in. Oh, I know how to go pray about that. I didn't seen you before. Okay? Pastor's wife, you got to be willing to do that. There will be a season you will have to say something. Oh, that's so true. Now that she'd wait. I'm so glad she said that, Sister Lee. Sister Lee, she the woman you seeing right now, Lady Rose, a lot like me. Okay. There is a season you will have to say something. Now, this is true. It's all about how you say it and how the Lord give it to you. It'd be soft and sweet. Now, I've had that season where I literally, I always share this. Had a little woman say, what would you do if Bishop was to if Bishop was to what would you do if Bishop was, I think he was pastor then, if pastor was to cheat on you? And I paused because I'm thinking to myself, you snake, why would you even ask me that? What would even make your mind go there? So I said to myself, self, you're gonna have, I ain't do all that. But I paused and I said, you're gonna make me, I'll blow up the church and everything in it. And I walked away. Yeah. And I really meant that, but I'm not that chick. I'm not her. I'm not that pastor. So, okay, anyway, anyhow. So there's a time that you have to say something. I've had a meeting where I've had to sit down and someone tried to say that the Lord told them that they're supposed to be our right hand. I looked at my husband and said, hey, did the Lord tell you that? Because he didn't tell me. So there's a time the Lord will give you what to say when to say it, Pastor Wife, okay? He'll give you what to say. He'll prepare you for it. He'll give you what to say, sugar. All right. So let me finish. Okay. Number 6. So far we talked about grace. Grace is a calling. We talked about God will strengthen your prayer as a pastor's wife. He will give you how to show you how to love people. He will also give you the wisdom that you need. He will also give you the resilience. Number 6, he will also give you patience in your growing moments. Can you type that? He will give you patience with people in your growing moments. He'll give you patience with your pastor, husband. Yes, he will. He'll give you patience because sometimes, pastor's wife, you need that patience with that husband of yours. And it's okay as long as he's following the Lord. And I always say this: don't tell me who you're over till you tell me who you're under. You need to be able to call somebody on it because you let Bishop Clyde Harden Jr. start doing bad. I'm out. I called Bishop when this little chick with the dinner. I called him because I'm gonna need you to. He about to get somebody messed up. So you got to be able to have patience, okay? You got to be able to have patience in your growing moments. What's up, Brittany? As a pastor's wife, you got to be able to have patience. Every journey takes time. You're not going to be like anybody else out here. Pastor's wife, stop comparing yourself. Don't do that. God has you where he wants you to be. To every person that's listening to me on the sound of my voice, if you're moving in ministry and you're changing lives, God has you where he wants you to be. Be patient. Be willing to learn and be willing to find those moments that, dang, this is where I grew. That's why I love journaling. I'm able to go back. I always, when I journal, I write down what I said. I write down, I'm journaling, but I put the date and the time. And I go back and I read those journals sometimes. And man, Ashton, it's like you see the growth in yourself. You see the growth in but it's patiently. You got to be patient. You got to be patient with people. You got to be patient with your husband. You got to be patient with the leaders that's in the church. You got to be patient, man. And just let God unfold what he needs to fold. But be patient in knowing that God's timing is always the best timing. All right? God's timing is always the best timing. All right. Here we go. Number 7. One thing I had to do, I don't know if Lady Harper is still on. Lady Harper, I had to find out joy in the time of the journey. Because it's a lonely walk as a pastor's wife, especially if your husband moves different in his city or in his town. It's a lonely walk as a pastor's wife. But it's learning to allow the joy that you experience on the journey to be your fuel, to be your faith. Despite the weight of the responsibility that we have as pastors' wives, we got to learn and find joy in the moments, in the smallest moments. You know, when you see lives change, those are my small moments. I get joy in that. I get joy in seeing a person come to our ministry. And when they come to our ministry, to watch them, and I tell people in my church, I have the best seat in the house because I get a chance to see people change from the inside out. It's like the butterfly experience. I get to see them transform. That's joy to me, that they're turning into, the person that God has allowed them to do through the vision, through the things that God has given my husband or myself to be able to do. And it is a joy. If it's something as simple as them changing the way that they think about, their children, the way that they think about their finances, the way that they think about them. Man, it's a joy to watch that happen. As a pastor's wife, it's so joyful to sit back and see, man, they get it. Man, that'll make me cry. That right there, that to me, that's impact versus being popular. It's impact. It's like, I can't explain it. That's why I love butterflies. It's like the butterfly experience does something to me. The transformation from you walking in our church, and we've had people walk in our church and they were on drugs and, or they were doing something that was against the will of God, or their marriages were broken. And to see them in that cocoon stage of it's time to birth out and time to get out of this cage, and learn them, and then see them identify who they are as a couple, and then or as an individual, and then they go into, man, it's amazing to watch. I don't even know how else to say it, but I love it. This butterfly alignment is blowing my mind. Yeah, I love butterflies. So when you told me to call, I was like, I didn't know she liked butterflies like that. Yeah, I love butterfly. I love the experience. Um, love you too. Thank you for rocking out. But I realized I would rather have that impact over popularity. All right, last and not least. So that's joy. If you notice, I love to see the transformation. Last but not least, the last thing that I learned, and I want to kind of throw out here as a principle to a pastor's wife that is watching me, is that faith that leads by example. When you learn to faith it, it allows you to lead others to faith God. Have faith in God and faith for him and believe in him. So faithing it is the power that is beyond measures. As a pastor wife, we don't have to just talk about faith. Come here, we live it. Yeah, it's something about when somebody see your fruit. Ooh, can somebody type fruit? I love it. I love it, Nikki, when different people connect to me because of what they seen my growth, or they seen, something they seen me faith it and do things that I've never done. Right. It is amazing when people connect with different things and they see our lives that we live it. You got to live it. You got to know a tree by the fruit that it bears. I tell anybody, don't rock out with me if you see bad fruit. Please don't. Do not rock out with me if you see bad fruit. If you see that I'm not authentic, if you see that I'm not living what I say, if you see, don't rock out with me, man. Please don't. I don't ever want to be out here in these streets, especially the things that I do on social media, for business, for ministry, for my marriage, whatever. If you see that, man, first of all, I have accountability. Someone that holds me accountable. Again, don't tell me who you're over till you tell me who you're under. I have a spiritual mother that tells me, daughter, you got to work out. Like, I thank God for. I do. I need to call her. Yeah. So I realized that you got to be able to see somebody's fruit. And as a pastor's wife, why not use your platform properly to show God's fruit? And don't be the fruit where the fig tree was. God said, if it ain't no fruit, they'll cut it. My husband just preached that Sunday. If there ain't no fruit, they'll cut it down. Don't be cut down, because we're not faithing it and believing God to do exceedingly abundantly above everything that if we're not allowing ourselves to live in the abundance of not just money. That's not what I'm talking about, but I'm talking about the abundance of pouring into to others, the abundance of empowering other people, the abundance of treating our husbands the way that God said to treat him, to allow him to be the man that God has called him to be, not you in the back scene or on your pillow talk trying to run the church, Jezebel. I said it, and let that sit. Mm-hmm. Catch it. You're a pastor wife out here and you trying to run the dang on church. No, that ain't the will of the Lord. Let that man pastor. Let him pastor. And you stand beside him and be there with him. I don't do anything without the permission of my husband. You can call it what you want to, but I ain't going to do it unless he okay it in church, in ministry. Now get me at home with whatever. Now, some things I do, I'm going to go shout. Okay, you know what, that ain't about this. But I'm talking about as a pastor's wife, okay? Your fruit. You got to have good fruit. Our lives become a testimony because of the platform. You know why I love helping pastor wives? Brittany, you know why I love having, hey, Sherelle. Hey, Sister Sherelle, y'all, that's my right hand right there. You know why I love helping pastor wives? Because I know if I help a pastor's wife or I empower a pastor's wife, I'm not just empowering her, but I'm empowering, don't be cut down because you, come on, that part. If I'm empowering her, and I'm giving, and she walks away from a program that I do or master class that I do or a live that I do, and she goes into her ministry and she's changed. Do you know how many people she finna change? Probably everybody in that church. That's why I love pastor. They my heart. Because I know if you change, everything around you will change. This is what I found out about change. And that's what I love about butterflies, because there's a metamorphosis moment of change. And if we're not changing, we are dying. And if we're not, here's the thing. When you change your mind, you change those around you. I heard Oprah Winfrey say that. And when you change those around you, you can change the entire world because of your change. That's the power in a pastor's life, man. If you would have told me, I'm done. I gotta go. If you would have told me, Brittany, if you would have told me 2012, when my husband and I was pastoring, that I would be able to empower and encourage other women, pastor wives, I would say, no, you're lying, because I don't even like this. I don't like being no pastor wife. But now I look at it and I'm like, God, I thank you for the endurance. I thank you for the resilience. I thank you for the wisdom. And I thank you that I apply wisdom. I will always say this. Every leader are readers, and readers are leaders. Okay? Leaders are readers, and readers are leaders. I get the wisdom from different books, man. I learn. I sit if I can, the days I can. I hate I'm missing my spiritual mother. I have another engagement, but on the 22nd, I do my best, whatever. I'm going to call my spiritual mother and check on her, make sure she good, because I realize that those that are connected to me that are connected to me empowers me in different ways. My mentors, my coaches, I have mentors. I don't just have a spiritual mother, but I have a mentor, a business coach. I need people around me that I can stand on their shoulders and I learn from them and I invest in them. You hear what I said? Oh, I'm going to give to my leaders. I'm going to give and I'm going to invest into my mentors. Come on. So what am I telling you? As a pastor's wife, and I really am done. I'm done for real. I pray this month that everything that you're looking for and everything that you're wanting, I pray that you are continuing to grow. Again, join my Pastor's Wife Connection community. And I'll put the link in here after I'm done. I'll make sure I put it in here. But join my Pastor's Wife Connection community. It's some videos in there. I just haven't done that in a long time. And I'm so ashamed. I am going to do better. But join my Pastor's Wife Connection, where I go live in there. And it's more of community than anything. And I know, it's been quiet because I ain't been doing nothing, but I will. But one of the things that I would tell you as a pastor's wife is don't quit. Can somebody type in the screen? Can you encourage the pastor wife? Last night we were encouraging the BAM community and the women just hollering. But I want you to holler for me and heart it up, or put the number 1 in the screen, or show them a heart. Let's do that. Every pastor's wife, we celebrate you this month, man. Keep going. Don't quit. Whatever you do, don't quit. Your man of God, if he's doing what the Lord say do, because I got you guys some pastors out here, they ain't leave it right there. But he's following the man of God. He's following God, and he is continuing the faith. He is being held accountable. He listens to God. Stand by that man. You understand me? Stand by that man. Do not quit. I don't care what no floozy person, leader, whoever. Can't nobody stand by him like you. Don't nobody know him like you. Can't nobody be with Bishop Clyde Harden like me but me. I believe even if the Lord take me from here, they ain't gonna be able to handle him. Can't nobody do that. Thank you for your obedience that lead to Lady Hines' obedience. Okay, so now you won't make me cry, Brittany. Don't make me cry on this thing. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, that's my spiritual daughter, man. And friend, it's so crazy. It works out though. Pushes me to stay in obedience. Yes. Obedience is, and so I want to encourage you, man. Stay focused. I see y'all see these hearts, man. They saying if you're watching this later, pastor's wife, don't quit, don't give up, keep pushing, stay connected, get in a group or get somewhere where someone can empower you. Shameless plug. Join Tonya Harden Ministry or join my BAM community. Now I do go live over there. Okay, that's different because I can talk to every arena and not just one particular, but I'm gonna do better on the Pastor Wife Connection, I promise. Lady McGee, I am. I know I keep saying that, but I am. But go join my BAM program, my BAM community, where I go live every Tuesday, and I'll send that information. But listen, I want to encourage you, stay focused. Stay focused on your focus. Type that, and I'm done. Stay focused on your focus, Pastor Wife. Stay focused on the very thing that God has given you. Even though my husband, God has given him things and he's given him things to do. But God has also given me a vision that aligns with his vision, though. It aligns with his Women of Destiny, aligns with its vision. My band program actually aligns with our regular business, our family business. Everything we do, whatever God gives you, it's going to align with what both of you have. The band program, my book coaching, it aligns with our vision. So I do other stuff outside of being a pastor's wife because your it's bigger than that. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than what you can ever imagine. If you're on here for the first time, man, stay close to me. I promise you. I think I'm a good chick. I ain't that bad. I make mistakes. I mess up. Eating better. Got to do that right. But I love my husband. Faithful. He's faithful to me. We do everything in ministry right. We ain't trying to steal these people money or steal their time. Okay. We just learn as we go. I'm not perfect, but I want you to rock out with me. Okay. Other than that, man, I thank y'all for rocking out. If you have a pastor's wife or a pastor that is a woman, celebrate them, man. Because no matter what, women is women. I don't care who we be emotional out here in these streets. And we need those times to love on us. But even as you're loving on us, don't forget about our husbands. Ooh, I need a whole conversation about that. Don't forget about our husbands. Our husbands are just as important as us. He do more than what we would ever do. Okay. Other than that, man, I thank y'all for rocking out. Go get my book. You Are the Fragrance. Oh, yes, I'm doing a call to action every time. Go get it because I got different ways for you to rock out with me. Go get my book, You Are the Fragrance. Until then, I'm going to come back I don't know when. Just be rocking out with me. I do a pop-up to Empower Women's Month. I might do that a couple of weeks. Women's Month, to Empower Women's Month. But other than that, if you don't remember anything else, thank y'all for rocking out. Thank you. Make sure you like, you share, all of that great stuff. Keep me in the little algorithm. Go on and do that. Like, share. Share it with somebody, a pastor's wife that you may know, and encourage them as they go on this journey. All right. Until next time, if you don't remember anything else, thank you, Sister Lee, so much for being my my virtual administrator. If you don't remember anything else, remember that you are a product of God's grace and mercy. When you see yourself through God's eyes and not people. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.